What's up, guys? Kudo-kun here. Are we actually live? Holy cow. Awesome. So, for those of you that are going to be watching this as a video later and not actually know what's going on, I've gotten a couple of requests from a guy to do some, like, Buddyfight stuff, and I've never really wanted to dedicate too much to Buddyfight since I've been out of it for so long, but what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to try another live set review, and not a single one of these has gone well so far, so we're going to see what happens this time. Just close a couple of other things. Oh, alright. Just going to give it a couple more minutes, see if anybody else shows up. Need to mess with this a little more. I actually have absolutely no idea what I'm doing right now, so this should be a good time for all. Let's see. Okay. Darn it, I wish there was a way to keep my chat up at the same time. I wonder if I just kind of like log in. YouTube. What happens if I... Oh yeah, of course. Alright, let's see what happens if I actually go to YouTube, find my own live stream. It's right here. Will I be able to see my chats? Because that's like the main thing that I need right now. Oh. Hello, Eric. What's up indeed? Oh, sorry. Roommates are kind of loud. I think I'm all set up. Okay, so just to preface this a little bit, I haven't actually seen anything from the new Buddyfight set. In fact, I haven't followed a single thing from Buddyfight since the very first set that I reviewed. So, I'm going to this pretty blind. There might be some mechanics or whatever that I don't actually know. And, yeah. Graduation coming soon. That's awesome. Are you graduating college or high school? Matter of Seconds' new Vanguard episode aired. Man, I remember when I used to watch Vanguard. Vanguard was a good show. I actually haven't watched anything since... Let's see, I'm trying to think. The last thing I remember was... I think it was Kai versus Aichi. I think that was the last thing I remember. Like, Aichi turned super edgy and evil, and that was pretty entertaining. High school. Are you planning on going to college, or are you just gonna chill back, get a job, and do that kind of thing? Another fun little fact is I stutter sometimes, so I can't actually edit any of that out, and that's going to be super fun as well. G-Next is just good. Okay. I don't know, maybe I'll get back into it sometime. I don't really have much time for anime lately. It's just been such a good year for video games. Oh my god! It's been so amazing if you're a gamer this year. You know, I actually don't think I should be showing my live dashboard stuff. Maybe I should close this. Alright. Community and get a job. Well, good luck out there, buddy. Let's see. I guess this will kind of work. I can just kind of go back and forth between these two tabs. Alrighty, so we're almost 5 minutes into the stream. I'm going to go ahead and start taking a look for those of you that are watching the YouTube video. Just so this doesn't take up too much time. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if there's anything that I missed, then please leave it in this comment section box over here. Danganronpa V3 does in fact need to come out soon. There are already people posting spoilers about it, and I'm not very happy about that. Alright, let's take a look at our very first card, 138. Oh god, I thought these sets were a lot smaller. I thought this was going to be like 60 cards. Okay then. Add X Thunder. You may only cast this card if you have a card with bats in its name on your field. Bats is a weird name. 1 gauge. For this turn, a Thunder Empire monster on your field gets critical +1. And of course, they've got the exclamation point because you need the exclamation point, alright? It's a Buddyfight exclusive. Then if you have 5 life or less, draw a card. You may only cast Add X Thunder once per turn. Alright, fair enough. Seems like a pretty decent card. I don't know anything about this Thunder Empire. This is a Dragon World card, though, so I guess it's just a split off of Dragon World, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. All-Rounder Warrior Tetra. If you have equipped a Thunder Empire item, this card gets defense +2000 and penetrate. Holy cow, that's really good. For a size 2, doesn't look like the power creep hit it too much. 4,000 power, 4,000 defense, pretty decent effect. You can tell that this card's a lot more powerful than like a Season 1 card, but that's not too bad. Wonder if Danger World is still a thing. Oh, the days of Danger World. Those were good times. Apparition of Disease. Plague Demon. What is this guy? Katana World? Wasn't I around when Katana World came out? I feel like I was. Call cost. Pay 1 gauge. When this card enters the field, search your deck for up to 1 Oni Assassin item. We are just getting all kinds of edgy now. Put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Then, if this card entered the field by the effect of Ambush. What is Ambush? We are going to find this out real fast. Keyword allows cards to be called from the drop zone. That's pretty awesome. Alright, let's see. If it is face down in the soul of a card, it was put in the drop zone. Okay, that's cool. So you can charge this card as soul for another card, and if it goes to the discard pile, you can play it. That's pretty awesome. Apprentice Underling Cherry Aid. When this card is put from your deck to the drop zone, you may call it from your drop zone, size 0. That's pretty awesome. I don't actually know anything about Ancient World, though. Huh. But still, a size 0, 2000, 2001 critical, you can't really complain. Especially if it can come into play for free if you discard it from the deck. I'm assuming there's some kind of effect that lets you do that. When this card enters the field, put the top card of your deck into the drop zone, and put the top card of your deck into the gauge. Okay. Alright, so that's one, sort of. Alright, I get it. I get it. That's cool. So if you build a deck around this, this looks like a pretty neat self-milling deck. Actually, I kind of, I'm getting so many JoJo vibes. It's pretty nice, actually. I kind of love it. Just a little, though. Just a little. Ideal state. When this card enters the field, look the top 3 cards of your deck, put up to 1 size 3 monster or Dragon Chief Emperor monster from your hand, from among them, put the rest in your drop zone. Put it where... into your hand. I get it. That's pretty nice, too. Wow, these are really good size 0 monsters. I really like that. So I guess the idea here is you play a size 3 deck, and then you have the size 0s on the side or whatever. That's a really neat idea. I might have to check out this Ancient World thing. During your turn, when a card is put into your drop zone from your deck, for this turn, this card gets power plus 2000. This ability only activates once per turn. These can get quite powerful. I like that. Arc Dragon Shield. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn if you do not have a monster in the center, and you have a Thunder Empire on your field. Okay, more shields. Did Dragon World just keep coming out with new shields every set? It sounds like something they would do, but my god. Alright, nullify an attack and draw a card. I guess that's good. I can't really say. I remember the shields being pretty beefy from the first set. Equip cost. You engage. This card on your field cannot be destroyed by card effects. Nice. All Thunder Empire monsters on your field get plus 2000 power and 2 exclamation points. That's how you can tell this is a secret rare, you guys, because it gets the 2 exclamation points. Love it. Art of Item Blasting. Pay 2 gauge and destroy an item on the field. Well, what a coincidence that they released an item destroying card in the same set as a card that cannot be destroyed by effects. Nice. Assassin Clan Oniwabanchu. Gotcha. Set, this card remains on the field. Let's see, you can put a card from your hand face down and the soul of an Oni assassin on your field. If you do, draw a card. You may only use this ability once per turn. That's pretty nice. It's kind of like a second charge, and you can use it to charge things like the ambush cards. Nice. I like that. That's cool. Impacts. Good stuff. Let's see here. Call cost, pay 3 gauge, put a monster with Balsoleil? I'm gonna say Balsoleil. I think that's right. Or Ball Dragon in its name from your field into your drop zone. If you are equipped with an item with release condition, this card's attack cannot be nullified during the turn that this card is called by the effect of Sun Deity's Choice. When this card link attacks with a Sun Dragon item for this turn, this card's power and critical becomes infinite. Holy cow. So just another game-winning card. I like it. The infinity sign thing is a pretty nice touch, though, I gotta admit. Let's see. Bats X Link. Wait a second. So, I stopped watching the show. Does my dude lose his dude? Is that what happens? It's a little bit. Oh yeah, I guess they are in Vanguard too. I forgot about that. Let's see. Alright, the first booster. Ah, indeed. Okay. Black Crystal Dragon, Shaoxin. If this card is in your center, this card gets double attack. Double attack's always nice for 2. Holy cow. 8,000 power and 8,000 defense? That sounds a lot more powerful than the first set. Maybe the set is a lot farther ahead than I thought it was. Let's see here. Call cost, put the top card of your deck into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. You may discard a Japanese blade from your hands. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw a card. You may only use this ability once per turn, so it gives you 2 charges instead of 1. That's nice. If there are 3 or more different Japanese blade in your drop zone, this card gets +1 critical and move, double attack, and soul guard. Holy cow, that's awesome. I really like that, actually. What are you part of? Katana World? Katana World, guys. It might be happening. Let me go down a little farther. Blood Dragon Follower. Another size 0. There are so many size 0s. Is this something that just happens? I remember back when Danger World was the only one who had any size 0s, and now it seems like they're... Oh, this is an Ancient World card. Never mind. Ancient World cards. All about the size 0s, apparently. When this card attacks and deals damage to your opponent, deal... Wait a second. When this card attacks and deals damage to your opponent, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and you gain 1 life. So, technically it deals 3 damage, and you heal for 1. Nice. For a size 0, that is insane. And this card is discarded from your hand. If you have a size 3 Wild Dragon on your field, you may call this card from your drop zone. What is the downside to this card? It has 2 critical, and it's a size 0. Holy cow. If you have 2 of these in play, then you can deal 6 damage with those 2 and heal for 2 life. That is really nice. And for a common, you can't really complain. Blood Dragon Sylvania. Call cost, pay 2 gauge. Pretty standard. 9,000 power, 6,000 defense. That's nice. Only 2 critical though. That's weird. You may choose a card from your drop zone and discard 1 Wild Dragon from your hand. If you discarded, put the chosen card into this card's soul, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and you gain 1 life. You may only use this ability once per turn. Decent. The Ancient World stuff looks pretty nice too. Huh. I can't really tell if it's an improvement over the old stuff, because, you know what? I think I just had an epiphany. Alright, hold on guys. Here's what we're gonna do. what if I did this, and then I did this, and then I moved this over here? I think I've done it, you guys. I think now I can read the chat and also read these cards. Alright, let's see what you guys have been saying. Yes, this is Gao's third buddy monster. Man, that is life, and penetrate is worthless. Maybe next time, Roxas. Maybe next time. This is sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing. To be completely honest, I'm actually doing this instead of working on my, let's see, what was it called? Yokai Watch. Ha! I am actually doing this instead of working on my Yokai Watch thing. The stream's offline? Is it really? Did I mess something up? Let's see. I think I'm still live. Can somebody confirm for me that I'm not live right now? Ah, okay. Alrighty. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so I think I get it. Nullifies penetrate. We gotcha. Bolting Knuckle, equip cost 1 gauge. You may pay 1 life. If you do, for this turn, this card gets critical +1. You may only use this ability once per turn. Okay, this is pretty sweet. It only takes 1 gauge to equip, and you can deal 3 critical with it if you're willing to pay a life. That's pretty nice. Brawl Chief, Grapplekin. Call cost, put the top card of the deck into this card's soul, pay 1 gauge. It's kind of weird how they change it around there, huh? When this card is destroyed, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your drop zone. 7,000, 7,000, critical 3. That cannot be effect destroyed. That sounds pretty awesome. Cake, Crystal Dragon. Alright, sounds delicious. Put the top card of your deck into the soul of this card and pay 1 gauge. If there's a monster in your center, reduce the size of this card in your field by 1. That sounds good too. Monster in your center gets power +1,000 and defense +1,000. That sounds good on the surface, but 1,000, 1,000, that doesn't really sound... I don't know. That sounds like it could be pretty okay. But then again, I haven't been following the game very much, so I don't actually know how good that is. Based on my knowledge of the very first set, that doesn't sound that good, but it could be good. Captain of the Sword Dragon Drake. Pay 2 gauge. When this card cannot be destroyed by the effects of your opponent's monsters. Okay. When this card attacks, destroy all monsters on your opponent's field and deal damage to them equal to the number of cards destroyed by this card's effect. Oh, okay. If your life is less than 4, instead destroy all cards on your opponent's side of the field and deal damage equal to the number of cards destroyed by this effect. So, that sounds a little too good. I feel like I'm getting something wrong here. Pay 2 gauge and get a monster that destroys all monsters on your opponent's side of the field sounds a little bit too much. Curious who some of your favorite Tengen. And what you thought of Tengen. There's a lot more. I guess it does, Roxas, but I don't know. 1,000, 1,000. It doesn't sound as good as the size 0 criticals, in my opinion. Then again, like before, I haven't been following the sets, so it could be really good right now. It just doesn't sound as good as getting the extra critical from the other card. And Drech sounds really broken. I'm gonna have to look into that card more. Chaos Yamigeto. It has counterattack. Apparently, call cost, put a monster from your field into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. Double attack, soul guard, counterattack. Nice. Katana World, my boys, man, I'm telling you. Katana World's the place to be right now. Forget Danger World. Then again, they don't have Medusa, so it's pretty tough. Chibi Panda. Hey, didn't somebody say something about Chibi Panda? I think they did. If you have a Thunder Empire item equipped, this card gets move. Okay. It doesn't sound great, but it sounds like something. And again, I guess this is pretty nice, because if you have this on your side and you have the item equipped, then you can move this in front of you, take one down. Actually, I take it back. I take it back. This is a pretty nice card, actually. I really like that. Chief of All Oceans. Holy cow. That guy has really cool artwork. Can we actually get that? Nice. That looks pretty awesome. Call cost. Put the top 3 cards of your deck into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. Oh god, that is a lot of soul. Put 3 cards from the top of your deck into the drop zone. If you do, for this turn, this card gets double attack. Then, if all cards are Dragon Chief Emperor, this turn it gets penetrate. Oh, that sounds nice. I really like this card. Chief of Steel, Iron Tetsu. During an attack on your opponent's turn, if you have a size 3 Dragon Chief Emperor on your field, you may discard this card from your hand and pay 1 gauge. If you do, nullify the attack, as if it doesn't have enough shields. That has hand traps, apparently, too. Oh, Jesus. What are these? Ancient World. More Ancient World stuff. Then again, it only has... but it's only a size 2. It's just interesting, because I haven't really been seeing very many things in Ancient World outside of size 3s and size 0s. Very sadly disappointing. A robot version of the main Season 2 monster, but it wasn't the best. What's with the bad guy? You know what? I'm going to leave you guys to your Buddyfight talk, and I'm going to just, I'm going to read all this later. Cristiano. Crystal Shoot. This character right here looks a little bit like a male version of the, what the heck is her name? The chick from Toho. It looks like a male version of the chick from Toho. Nice. What does this do? Does it give you infinite attack? If it doesn't, I might have to knock off points. This card can only be used during your opponent's final phase if you have not been dealt any damage this turn. That sounds really tough. If you have a size 3 Prism Dragon in your center and your opponent has 4 or less life. Cast cost 2 gauge. Counter, deal 4 damage to your opponent. This card cannot be nullified and the damage cannot be reduced. If your opponent's life becomes 0, your opponent cannot change his or her life by cards, cannot revive. Sounds decent. I mean, it doesn't sound as good as the other one, but yeah, this one doesn't actually like win you the game or anything, but it's still pretty cool. Crystal Shooter's broken? Yeah, I could see that, because you could technically, let's see, Prison Dragon, I think there was one up here somewhere. Not going to go looking for it again, but yeah, I could see where this could be really, really good. And there's 2 of them. Is there a difference? No. One of them is a secret rare. Now we know. Crush Filling. You may only cast this card if you have a Prism Dragon in your center. Destroy a monster on your opponent's field. If you destroyed a monster, put cards from the top of your deck into your gauge equal to the size of that monster. So it's just destroy any monster? That sounds really good, actually. I really like that. Let's see, all the shields, they have so much defense and burn. Someone's gonna make a no damage deck. Yeah, I could see that. No damage deck would probably be pretty sick. Crystal Spike, are these sneakers? Oh, that is glorious. Just put on my sweet kicks and win the game. The abilities of Prism Dragons in your center cannot be nullified, and it gets power plus 2,000 to defense plus 2,000. That sounds pretty good. For 1 gauge, giving it plus 2,000 plus 2,000. Ah, no, I dropped the mic. Giving it plus 2,000 sounds a lot better. At the end of the battle that your Prism Dragon was attacked, if there's a Prism Dragon in your center, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Wait a second. That sounds really good. Crystal Spike. So, this Star Dragon World thing sounds pretty awesome. I really like this. Dark Arts. Gui Kujiuju. Okay, I gotcha. Cast cost, pay 2 gauge. Choose one of the following 2. Choose an Oni Assassin on your field. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put those cards face down into the soul of the chosen card and shuffle your deck. Nice. I really like that, because then you have the ambush effect. That sounds really good. I really like that. But, no! Put all souls from all cards on the field into the drop zone. We are getting some of our patented Kudo-kun audio issues this episode, ladies and gentlemen. The character's a soccer player. Cool. Okay, I get it. I get it. It just sounds really funny from somebody who, like, doesn't know anything about the show or what's going on right now. Dark Device, Hishujin. All Oni SS monsters in your field get plus 1,000. When your monster enters the field by ambush, you may choose a monster on your opponent's field and pay 1 gauge. If you do, destroy the chosen card. This ability can only activate up to once per turn. Okay, so I think I get it. It sounds like Katana World is like a control deck, so this is sort of like the new Magic World. Am I getting that right? Maybe Roxas can tell me. Let's see, I know there was Inazuma 11. I know about Inazuma, actually. I think I played one of the DS games. It was pretty nice. Dark Device, Kozanshi. Equip cost, pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. When this card attacks, you may put a card from your hand face down into the soul of an Oni assassin on your field. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Okay, I get it. Pretty decent. Basic, but decent. Dark Knight Body... You know what I just thought of? I should have actually separated these by, like, monsters or by world or something. Because looking at these all scattered like this is actually not that cool. But it's too late now, alright? We've already started. We're going to go ahead and continue on. Dark Knight Bodyguard, you may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn. And if you have an Oni Assassin on your field, counter nullify the attack. Then you may put a soul from a card on your field into your drop zone. If you do, put the top card of your deck in your gauge, and you gain 1 life. So, it's a shield for Katana World. I'm telling you guys, Katana World just looks like my jam, alright? If I were to start playing the game again, I think I would totally get into this, this Katana World stuff, because it sounds really nice. That are these Prism Dragon things, because the Prism Dragons sound really broken too. You can have 5 monsters on the field with this one deck. Ninjas are more rush due to Gojin Maru, Skull Warriors, and Grand Blue from Vanguard. Blade Beasts is the pure rush. You know, yes, Oni Assassins are cool. Okay, good to know. Thank you. You may only cast this card when a monster on your center is destroyed. Cast cost to start. Discard a card from your hands. Counter, call a monster from your drop zone by paying its call cost. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, man. So, I'm thinking, like, Katana World number 1, Star Dragon World number 2 for me right now. Demon Lord Dragon. Call cost, pay 1 gauge. During your turn, this card on your field cannot be destroyed. Okay? At the beginning of your attack phase, for this turn, this card gets double attack if you have 4 or less life. For this turn, this card gets plus 3,000 power and triple attack. Alrighty, I get it. This is Bats. This is him. Secret rare. I like it. So, Critical 2, that's... Oh gosh, that's so much. I kind of like all these 4 or less life effects. That sounds like it puts a really neat sort of urgency on the game. Something that sort of encourages you to take 6 damage, but not take any more. Kind of like how Vanguard has that thing where, like, you want to take, like, 4 or 5 damage, and then you just want to stop taking all damage. So that you have enough for the, like, the Soul Blasts and stuff at level 3, but then after that, you just stop taking the damage altogether. Demon Lord Dragon Bats. Hey! Buddy Rare. I forgot that this was actually a thing. Call cost, pay 1. This is the exact same card, but the artwork looks a bit different. I'm gonna want to look at this. That looks okay, I guess. I kind of like... Not gonna lie, I kind of like this artwork better. I think that's way cooler than the Buddy Rare version, but that's just me. Demon Lord Dragon, literally the exact same card, so maybe there aren't as many cards as I thought there was going to be. Demon Way, Oboro Genbu, may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you do not have a monster in the center, nullify the attack. Okay. Pretty basic shield. And it doesn't cost anything? Wait a second. No. Holy cow. Nice. I like that. Demonic Dragon Deity of the Black Sun. Holy cow, this card looks really cool too. Holy crap. When this card wait a second. This card can only enter the field if your flag is Dragon Dre. While you are transform into card. That doesn't make any sense. So, wait a second. While you are transformed into card, this card cannot be destroyed nor returned to hand, and its ability cannot be nullified. When you transform into this card, your opponent cannot draw cards during his or her next turn. When this card attacks, destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Oh, God, I need just hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, Roxas, if you wouldn't mind explaining this. It's size 10. It's got way too much power. Acts discard 2 size 3 or greater monsters from hand, pay 2 gauge. If you do, you gain 5 life. That is a lot. Transform is a state where you can equip a monster and it becomes an item. Wowzers, that sounds really nice. Demonic Dragon Deity of the Black Sun Gain. Is this the same card? Secret. Buddy Rare, yep. Let's take a look at its artwork. Now this Buddy Rare, this looks a lot nicer than the other one. Don't get me wrong, this still looks pretty nice, but that Buddy Rare, that definitely deserves its title. Banned. Is it gonna be banned? Yeah, it is really good. Let's see. Determined Dragon Rising. You may only cast this card if you have a card with Duel Jaeger in its name on your field. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge and gain 2 life. So I'm a little confused. Did Danger Roll just cease being a thing? Or is it just not in this set? Season 1. And he combines with Ozzy's size since he becomes an item. Okay. I mean, alright. Equipping monsters. No! Equipping monsters as items just sounds like a really weird concept. Can one of you go into the process of how you would equip a monster as an item, please? Double Circle of Impact. Call cost 1 gauge. This card cannot attack to the left or right. What? Double attack. That doesn't sound very good. That sounds really bad, actually. Maybe somebody can tell me why this is good, but that sounds really bad. Let's see. And this card in 3 gauge, and yes, danger exists. Yes! My danger world lived. Dragon Dre, you cannot choose this flag at the beginning of the fight. Okay, I think I'm getting it. You cannot choose this flag at the beginning of the fight, and if the flag you've chosen at the beginning of the fight is Dragon's Way, you may use this card in your deck. You may use monsters with dragons in it. Alright. Okay. When your life would become 0, put this card from your hand on top of your Dragon's Y. Put all cards in your field in the drop zone and your life becomes 5. So, that's pretty nice. One of the things about Buddyfight, and the thing that kind of gave it its flavor, was the fact that the matches just lasted no time whatsoever. It was like 5 to 10 minutes a match. 10 minutes being the absolute highest I've ever seen a Buddyfight match. But it looks like they're finding ways to extend the game a little bit, which I'm okay with. You cannot choose this flag. Alright, so exact same card, much nicer artwork. That looks pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Dragonite Gunther. Bravery Choice. You may discard this card from your hand and pay 1 gauge. If you do, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put 1 Dragonite into your hand from among them. Call up to 1 Dragonite from among them by paying its call cost and put the rest in your drop zone. Bravery Choice only activates once per turn. Okay. I get it. It doesn't sound like a game-winning ability, but it sounds pretty nice. Dragon Arms, Meidi. Counteract. Help Call. If this card is in the soul of a Neo Dragon, where are we going with this? Alright, so I'm guessing Neo Dragon is like a new thing too? Yeah? Old Gals and Blade Burst. Okay. So basically, you know how to equip an item. Transform is basically saying equip cost, but on a monster. So basically, once a monster becomes an item, becomes just like an... Okay. Alright, so it's not really that special, it's just like equipping an item. I gotcha. Let's see, Dual Spark. This card cannot attack to the left or right. What is with these cards? Double attack. Okay, that sounds nice too, I guess. Is there a way to power these up? Because these on their own don't sound very good. Emerald Spike. Prism Dragon in your center gets plus 1000 power, plus 1000 defense. You may choose and put this card from the field in the drop zone. If you do, the next time the chosen monster would be destroyed this turn, that monster remains on the field. Okay? Enhancement. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge. If there's a size 3 Prism Dragon on your field, draw a card. You may only cast Enhancement once per turn. Okay. That sounds pretty useful. Evening Fiend, Yagyo. When this card enters the field, you may choose a monster on your opponent's side of the field and put a soul from the chosen card into his or her drop zone. Then, if this card enters the field by the effect of ambush, put a soul from the chosen card into his or her drop zone. Ooh, that sounds neat. So this is like getting rid of cards with lots of soul. I like it. Explosive Sun Dragon, Ball Dragon. 1 gauge. When this card link attacks with another Sun Dragon, you may put a Sun Dragon from your drop zone to the top of the deck. Actually, that's something else I've noticed, is link attacks suddenly became a thing. I remember link attacks were like a last resort in the very first set, but now it seems like link attacks just are like their own mechanic. That sounds nice. Ice Fiend. Again, that's kind of a way to lengthen the game a little bit, because if you have multiple monsters attacking a monster for a special effect, could make the game last a little bit longer. When this card enters the field, choose an Oni Assassin on your field, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and put 1 face down into the soul of the chosen card from among them, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. More ambush stuff, that's nice. When this card enters the field, if there are a total of 8 or more Dragon Lords and Fairy in your drop zone, deal 3 damage to your opponent. Holy cow, that sounds awesome. I really like that, actually. Okay, so hypothetically, because of the rules of Buddyfight, couldn't you, like, have 3 of these in your hand, play one, 3 damage, play another one, discard the other one, 3 damage, play another one, discard the other one, 3 damage? Because that's like a game-winning effect. Nice. Oh, and it's 2 worlds. Wow, that... Was I just not paying attention? I didn't even see that there were cards that came from 2 different worlds. Feast of Evil. What is this? There's something so uncomfortable about their faces. Choose and use one of the following effects. You may only cast Feast of Evil once per turn. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Then, let's see. Put up to 1 monster from your hand into your hand from among them, and put the rest into your drop zone. Or you can choose a card from your drop zone, face down, and put it into the soul of a monster on your field. Nice. Who's this? Alright, I'm gonna stop looking at these cards. This is so weird. Call cost. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and put 1 of them face down into this card's soul, and put the rest into your drop zone and pay 1 gauge. Has move, soul guard, defense 1000, but you wouldn't really expect that much. Critical 2. For a card with move and soul guard, that sounds pretty nice. Yes, you never paid attention. Yep, sounds about like me. You guys actually would have no idea how much time I put into like reading and rereading cards and stuff when I'm making like a proper video. But, Want to know something sad? Yes, I would love to know something sad. 5th Omni Armor Dragon, Thunderblade, Kokuyo, nice. Black Thunderlight. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge, and you take 2 damage. I guess I see the use in that, because if you are at 6 and you take 2, there's now a toilet attribute. Oh god, I hope you're kidding. Ooh, man, I hope that's a joke. That'd better be a joke. Finest Crystal Dragon, Seishu, no ability text, it's just a big ol' 7,000 with 10,000 defense. Alright, I can respect you. Firing Blindly Demon Globus, split the reward. When your other Thunder Empire monster enters the field, put the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw a card. Split the reward, only activates once per turn. Nice. When this card attacks for this turn, a card on your field gets critical +1. Ooh. Ooh, I really like that. Flame Captain Dragon Flare Line. Call cost, pay 2 gauge. This card on the field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. When this card attacks, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Okay. So it attacks, you automatically get 1 damage, and then it has double attack. So you can hypothetically deal 4 damage with this card, which is good. Flaring Chief Excite Homura. Well, it's got Homura in the name, so obviously this card is good. Pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, destroy a size 2 or less monster on your opponent's field. Okay. And put a card from your opponent's gauge into his or her drop zone. Okay, I'm with it so far. If there are 20 or more Dragon Chief Emperor in your drop zone, destroy all cards on your opponent's field and put all cards from your opponent's gauge into his or her drop zone instead. Oh boy, that sounds nice. That is quite the meme. Not joking, revealed on Friday, so at least it wasn't something I was completely out of the loop on if it was only revealed on Friday. Flash Upper, you may only cast this card if you have a Prism Dragon in your center. Choose a Prism Dragon on your field. For this turn, the next time that card would be destroyed, it remains on the field. Then, if your life is 6 or more, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Okay, so considering this doesn't cost anything, that's a pretty nice effect. Former Fiend, Kibikaja. Call cost, put up to 2 cards from your hand in this card soul face down, pay 2 gauge. Move, double attack, Soul Guard. That's good. I like that. It's got critical 2, so you can technically get a lot of attacks out of this guy with double attack. If it stays alive for 2 turns, it's technically worth 8 damage. Though, then again, that's not guaranteed, obviously, but that's pretty nice. Homer is bad because Dragon Chief Emperor is a triple D advertised deck. This means it is based on 1 monster, and that 1 monster gets all the good cards. Fair. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and you have a Dragon Chief Emperor on your side of the field. Counter, nullify the attack. Okay. Call cost. Put the top card of your deck into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. When this card is destroyed, you gain 1 life. Woot. When this card attacks, if you have 7 or more life, destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field. That sounds like a really good card, actually. I'm starting to really like these Prism Dragon things, but I have a feeling that Prism Dragons are sort of like the old, what was it? Dark Paladins. They sort of feel like the you can do it all Dark Paladins of the old like Vanguard days. Gunrod, Hammerschmidt type CLA. Pay 1 life. You may rest this card. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent. It only has 1 critical, so that's a pretty good trade. And put the top 2 cards of your deck into your drop zone. If there is a monster among those cards, wait a second. If there's a monster among the cards you put into your drop zone, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. That sounds like a really good card. It's Magic World and Star Dragon World. Okay, so... Okay. Alrighty. I'm with it. Half-Fiend Yasadoji. When this card enters the field by ambush, you may choose an item on your opponent's field and pay 1 gauge. If you do, destroy the chosen card. And it's size 0. Heck yeah. Man, I wish it wasn't by ambush, because this card, if it wasn't by ambush, would be a pretty sick buddy to keep. That would be pretty nice. I'd like that. That's a really cool looking card in my opinion. Let's see. Heaven Sunshine. Cast cost. Pay 1 life. Destroy a monster on your opponent's fields. If you destroyed a monster, call up to 1 Dragon World or Guardians monster with the size equal to the size of that monster from your deck by paying its call cost. Wow. And shuffle your deck. You may only cast Heaven Sunshine once per turn. Let's see. Let's see. Hiding Oni. cast cost. Put a card from the soul of a card on your field in a drop zone. Okay. Put the top card of your deck into your gauge and draw 2 cards. You may only cast Hiding Oni once per turn. That's a really good card too. Oh man, is that Rocket Raccoon? No, it's not. Ah, I can dream. Choose another Thunder Empire on your field. Pay 1 gauge. If you do, for this turn, it gets +1 critical and penetrate. Why does Dragon World keep getting all these nice penetrate cards? That sounds awesome. Regular attack. You may only cast this card if your card's attacked 3 or more times this turn. Link attack is regarded as attacking once, so okay. Counter. Destroy all monsters on your opponent's field and put cards on the top of your deck into your gauge equal to the number of monsters destroyed. Okay. That sounds pretty good, actually. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, just had to move my legs. I'm sitting in a really, really uncomfortable position right now. You guys have no idea, but I thought this would be a pretty fun way to sort of spend one of my days off, so decided to go ahead and give it a try. Plus, if this works and there are no huge issues with the audio or anything, then I could maybe do some more live streams of some other stuff. Maybe some more like live set reviews, or maybe I could even do some like live dueling. That would be pretty nice to stream, just playing games. Call cost. Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. The generic monsters, they were like chess pieces, right? I remember. Call cost. Put a chess from your drop zone into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, if there are a total of 5 or more different chests in your drop zone, your opponent's life becomes 4. Oh, baby. Oh, when your other chest attacks for this turn, that card gets double attack. Nice. This reminds me so much of Gargantua Punisher. That's so awesome. Although, why would they call it King the Dominator Endgame and not just call it, like, Checkmate? Checkmate would have been such a... Actually, wait a second. These are Japanese cards. Maybe they'll make it Checkmate here in America, because that would be pretty sick. Little Fiend Amano Jaku. Okay. When this card enters the field by ambush, draw a card. Pretty basic. I like it. Okay. I don't know necessarily that it's amazing, but it's pretty good. I'd probably put, like, 2 of these in my deck or so, huh? Little Fiend Sonky. Oh my gosh, she's adorable. Can we look at this? Yeah. Wait a second. Her eyes are a little weird, though. Am I imagining that? It looks like her eyes are too far apart. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Still a cool-looking card, but it's a little awkward to look at now because I can't stop unseeing that eye thing. Put a card from... Wait a second. Put a soul from a card on your field into the drop zone. Ooh, see, that's a good card. That's a lot better than the drawing a card, in my opinion. Which is weird, because this is a rare? Huh. I would much rather use this card, in my opinion. Then again, like Sport, I haven't played yet, but it sounds like this is a lot more useful. Martyrdom. What are you? My life for ire. Cast cost. Put 3 cards from the top of your deck into your drop zone. Counter, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Okay. Then, if all the cards sent to the drop zone of this card's cast cost are Dragon Chief Emperor, for this turn, a Dragon Chief Emperor on your field gets critical +1. I don't really see why that's a... Wait a second. Counter. Okay, never mind. Alrighty, I get it. Okay, decent, I guess. Medium Stealth Hangetsu. Ooh, my lights almost went out. That was scary. Medium Stealth Hangetsu Maru. Act. You may choose up to 1 size 1 ninja from your drop zone. Put this card from the field in your drop zone. Pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. If you do, call the chosen cards to... Okay. So it gets 2 size 1s from your discard pile. Nice. I like that. Too bad it's an axe, though. It'd be cool if you could attack with this and then use that effect. Mara Exhaust Dragon. At the end of the battle that this card link attacked with another Sun Dragon, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. Call up to 1 Sun Dragon from among them by paying its call cost. Put the rest into your drop zone. Okay. Generic is actually interesting, this set. It's only 2 cards, but amazing 2 cards. So it looks like it, honestly. Someone else is using a generic deck. There are. Okay. Put this card into the soul of a monster on your field. This card in the soul of your Prism Dragon cannot be put to the... Okay. I feel like I'm saying okay a lot. When a Prism Dragon with this card in soul is attacked, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. This ability only activates once per turn. Alrighty, I think I get it. Nanomachine Ninja Zangetsu. Nanomachine Resonance. When this card enters the field, if there is a card with Tsukikage or Gojin Maru, I think I read those already, on your field, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and you gain 1 life. Only activates once per turn. Iffy. I could see it though. I don't really remember these 2 cards that well, but like if they're good cards, then it sounds like a pretty neat deck. Obsession Chief Smasher. How many ones are there in Buddyfight? From what I remember, there are 3, right? Or did they change that? During your opponent's turn, choose a spell or item from its field. Put the top 3 cards of your deck in a drop zone. If you do, destroy the chosen card. So, some decent control. If all cards put in our Dragon Chief Emperor, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and this effect can only activate once per turn. Nice. Oni Boss. Kiribuki. What is this? Oh, that looks kind of nice when it's all like stylized like that. Pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, destroy a monster on your opponent's field. Then, if this card entered the field by ambush, deal damage to your opponent equal to the size of the destroyed monster. I really, really like this ambush thing. There are 3, but the roll just got destroyed. Nice. Are they increasing it? Is it going to be 5 now instead of 3? I think I heard you say 5 earlier. Now let's look at the... Wait a second. That doesn't look nicer at all. Yeah, this triple rare version looks a lot nicer. I actually don't know why I clicked that card. I didn't want to look at it. Choose and use one of the following 2. For this turn, the next time damage would be dealt to you, it is reduced by 2. Nice. And let's see. Or you could put a soul from a card on your field in the drop zone. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. So either ambush or reduce damage by 2. I like it. Outer Arts, Yamiuchi, cast cost. Put a card from the soul of an Oni assassin on your field into your drop zone. It's a counter. Destroy a card on your opponent's field. That sounds really, really good. Wait a second. Put a card from the soul of an Oni assassin on your field in the drop zone. So if it has ambush, you can then play it. Destroy a card on your opponent's field. That sounds really good. Maybe somebody can correct me, but this card sounds really, really, really good. Pale Yellow Fiend, Hoshiguma Doji. That's a really, really obnoxious name. Call cost. Put up to 1 card from your hand face down into this card's soul and pay 1 gauge. Move and double attack. Okay, I get it. Sounds nice. Works really well with the ambush effect that we've been looking at. Pawn the Promotion. Okay, so this is the other one. When this card enters the field, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put up to 1 chess monster or impact into your hand from among them. Put the rest into your drop zone. This card can attack during your final phase. Yeah. Actually, that sounds really good. That sounds really, really, really good. So yeah, generic actually got it pretty nice in this set, it looks like. I wonder what they look like in the other sets. Pink Crystal Dragon Rose. That is almost exactly... Wait a second. No, it's not. Never mind. Just ignore it. You may discard this card from your hand. If you do, put the top card of your deck into your gauge and gain 1 life. Okay, I get it. Prematurely... It's weird because I really like Orochimaru, but this tongue, it just doesn't work on everybody, baby. When this card enters the field from your hand, search your deck for up to 2 Skull Warrior or Water monsters and put them into your drop zone and shuffle your deck. That works really well with that one chick we were looking at earlier. The one that if you put her into your drop zone from your deck, you can play her. So that's nice. This card's attack cannot be nullified if it is attacking alone. So, I really, really wish this thing had 2 critical. If this thing had 2 critical, I would actually say this is a pretty amazing card. Sorry, Dalton, but broken cards are inevitable. Broken cards are how they get you to buy new packs. If there were no broken cards, then nobody would buy the new sets. Prism Coating. You may only cast this card at the end of the battle where your monster was attacked. Counter, draw a card. Then, if there is a size 3 Prism Dragon in your center, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Ooh. Yeah, that's not bad. It's a promo card, though. Wonder how you get it. Prism Eye. You may only cast this card if you have a Prism Dragon in your center. Okay. Cast, cost, pay 1 gauge. Destroy a monster on your opponent's field with power that is equal or less than the defense of a monster in your center. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Prism Eye is really good too. I can see why it's a triple rare. I would definitely abuse the crap out of this card if I were playing the Prism Dragons. Pyroxene Dragon Vermouth. I really like that name. Case closed, fans. Unite. There's a card named Vermouth in Buddyfight. When this card enters the field, pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field in your center, destroy a monster on your opponent's field. A little less... Wait a second. No, actually... I actually kind of like that. Because you play this, and then you have this, and you destroy another monster on your opponent's turn. Okay. The Prism Dragons seem really, really broken, though. Like, are Prism Dragons tier 1 right now? Like, is that the meta? Quintessence, Crystal Dragon, Authora. Call cost. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into this card's soul and pay 3 gauge. That's a lot. What does it do? When this card is in your center, this card on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects and cannot be dealt damage by card effects. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these things sound... Okay, yeah, I figured, because these things sound really, really, really broken. Quintessence, Crystal Dragon, Authora. This is the exact same, but that artwork, though... I really like that. That's really, really cool. I mean, it's weird. Essentially, it's like the same artwork, except for the fact that the human is missing. Just to double check, this is a good guy, right? Yeah? Hero? One of the heroes? Not a villain? Because I feel like... yeah, it's probably a good guy. Although, if it's a bad guy, that's a lot more interesting. And then another one. So I'm guessing this is like main character status, right? Yeah. Radiant Shell. You may only cast this card if a Prism Dragon in your center is being attacked. Kanata is a good guy. Okay. You may only cast this card if a Prism Dragon in your center is being attacked. Pay 1 gauge. Nullify the attack. Deal 1 damage to your opponent. Not the best. I don't think I like this as much as the one that destroys a monster, but if your opponent doesn't have any monsters, I guess this is pretty nice. Raging Solitary Dragon of Madness. Put the top 3 cards of your deck in your drop zone. Destroy a size 2 or less monster on your opponent's field. Okay. Raid Officer Delta. When this card attacks, if you have another Thunder Empire on your field, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's not a great card, but for a size 1 with 6,000 power, I could see this being useful. I could see this being really useful, actually. Red Crystal Dragon Amaron. When this card enters the field, if you have a size 3 Prism Dragon in your center, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. And that's it. Okay. I mean, I don't really know how important gauge is right now, but these effects that give you gauge seem pretty good. He didn't watch X yet, did he? No, he did not, in fact, watch X yet. Let's see. I've watched maybe 6 or 7 episodes of the show, and I really liked it, but I just didn't continue it. Call cost, pay 3 gauge. When this card enters the field, you gain 4 life. Nice. When this card attacks, if you have 10 life or more, this card gets double attack, and it has penetrate naturally. That's really good. Potential 6 damage in 1 turn if you have 10 life or more. Red Crystal Dragon, Game. Oh god, ads, please stop. Red Crystal Dragon, Game. When this card enters the field, if you have a size 3 Prism Dragon in your center, put a soul from a card on your opponent's field into his or her drop zone. That sounds good, unless you happen to be fighting against a, unless you happen to be fighting against Katana World. Like, if you're fighting against Katana World, this is almost a dead card, isn't it? Red Fiends, Kid Kanaguma. Ambush. When this face down card is okay, we already know what ambush does. So it's just a 1 with ambush. That's it. That's all. No effect. Moving right along. Red Ogress Kureha. Call cost, pay 1 gauge. When this card enters the field, put up to 1 card with ambush that is not Red Ogress Kureha from your drop zone into your hands. If this card entered the field by the effect of ambush, you may put a card from your hand face down to Sylvan. Oh, that is way nicer. Okay, you need to take some notes. Then again, you are only a size 1, so being a size 2 means you have a little more freedom to be better. Replenisher Panther? Is that a penguin? Is that a penguin dragon? Because that might be the best thing that I've ever seen. When this card enters the field, if you are equipped with a Thunder Empire item, draw a card. Okay, fair. Oh, the tiny dragon guy is so useful. I mean, he sounds okay. When this card enters the field, if you are equipped with a Thunder Empire item, draw a card. Yeah, no, that sounds decent. Sounds like he could be a good card. He's got 2 critical on a size 1 that lets you draw a card if you're equipped with an item. So, well, I can imagine it being pretty nice. You play like one of these to your right, and then you play a size 2 to your left, and yeah, it sounds useful. Let's see here. Retainer of the Demonic Dragon, Devil Orb Dragon. Counteract, you can discard this card from your hand. If you do, if your flag is Dragon's Way, the next time you'd be dealt damage this turn, it is reduced by 3. If your flag is Dragon Dray, you gain 2 life. Okay, alright. So I kind of love how they have a Dragon Dray thing here, because then you can call your deck Beats by Dray if it's like a rush deck or something. I thought it was funny, guys. I thought it was funny. Retainer of the Demonic Dragon Walm. Counteract. You may discard this card from your hand. If you do, choose a card and... Wait a second. Choose a card in battle on your field. For this turn, it gets defense plus 2,000. Then, if that card is Demonic Dragon, Deity of the Black Sun Gain, and you don't have any cards in your hand for this turn, this card gets defense plus 3,000. Oh, snap, guys. How many? No, not 3,000, 30,000. Defense plus 30,000, which is definitely a big deal. So that's why we've got the 3 exclamation points here. So it pretty much just can't be killed. Like, that's it. It's got plus 30,000 defense. I don't care how many link attacks you've got. You're not getting over that unless you have like the infinity attack thing that we looked at earlier. Jesus Christ. Rhombus, the Brave Bow. You look familiar. I guess not. I don't know, there's something really familiar looking about that artwork. I just don't know where I've seen it from. When this card attacks, you may choose a monster on your opponent's field, pay 1 life. If you do, destroy the chosen card. What? Wait a second. When this card attacks, you may choose a monster on your opponent's field, pay 1 life, and destroy the chosen card? So wait a second. Could you just attack with this, destroy your opponent's center slot, and then attack them directly, or do you have to declare the attack on the center slot, which is already like being blocked by a monster, so your attack doesn't go through? Because if you can just attack, destroy the center monster, and still deal your critical damage, that sounds really good. Then again, a size 2, 5,000 power, 3,000 defense. Guess that doesn't sound too overpowered, but still, that sounds really, really too good. Like, I feel like I must be misreading something here, because that just sounds like way too powerful an ability to be on an uncommon. Then again, we did have Rainbow Dash on even ground in My Little Pony, so whatever. Searing, Surging Chief, Dual Jaeger, Dynamite. God, I love some of these names. You may only call this card if you have 15 or more Dragon Chief Emperor in your drop zone. Call a cost, put this card on top of a monster with Dual Jaeger in its card name on your field, and pay 3 gauge. Counteract, call this card from your hand by paying its call cost. Ooh, you can play it during your opponent's turn. That's handy. Jesus Christ. What's with this quadruple attack nonsense? That is just unnecessary. That is unnecessary. And that's the same, right? Yeah. So some of these are literally just like the exact same card, except it doesn't have the border. The weird thing here is I actually, personally, think it looks a bit nicer with the border. Maybe that's just me, but I actually think some of these cards, like if you're not going to change up the artwork at all and you're just going to either have the border or not have the border, I think it looks nicer with the border. Shadow Fox Chief Loneliness Shoe. Oh, what an edgy name. Oh, kind of want to just edit little teardrops here. Call cost. Put the top card of your deck into this card's soul and pay 2 gauge. If you have 10 or more Dragon Chief Emperor in your drop zone, this card gets critical +1, and this card's attack cannot be nullified if it is attacking alone. Nice. I don't necessarily think it's the best Ancient World card I've seen, but I could see it. Like, if you're building a Dragon Chief Emperor deck, like, apparently you've got plenty of space for size 3s anyway, so I could see throwing a couple of these in. I'm lonely even today and tomorrow. I want to have friends. That's... man, my wrists hurt just thinking about it. Shinobi Scrolls set. This card remains on your field. You may pay 1 gauge and put a card from your hand face down into this card's soul. If you do, draw a card. This ability can only be used once per turn. You may look at this card's soul and cast a ninja art from the soul by paying its cast cost. Okay, I get it. That's pretty good. Gotta admit, I kind of like that. Shying Ball. Buddy material. This card cannot be called to the center. Oh, never mind. I take it back. You're an adorable Digimon-looking dude, but if you can't be called to one of the spaces on the field, that doesn't sound like something that's useful all the time. When this card attacks, if your life is 6 or less for this turn, this card gets +1 critical. I mean, so it's a size 0 with a potential 3 critical. I could see it, because you could have this to your right, a size 3 to your left, and have an item, and that's pretty much like a game-winning move, isn't it? Well, potentially, obviously. It depends on what your opponent has, of course. Sickle User Curver. That looks nice. One thing about Buddyfight is I've always really liked the artwork to Buddyfight. In fact, I think I like the artwork to Buddyfight more than I like the artwork to Vanguard, even though I like the subject material of Vanguard more. Like, I would prefer like Royal Paladins and Dark Paladins and the oh heck, who did I play with back in the day? Oh god, I don't even remember. But pretty much the idea is I like the artwork in Buddyfight a little more than I like the artwork in Vanguard, even though I think the concepts in Vanguard are cooler. Soul Generator. You may only cast this card if there is 2 or more cards in the soul of a Neo Dragon on your field. Cast cost, pay 1 gauge. Counter, stand a monster on your field. Ooh, nice. I don't really see how that's super duper useful, but I guess if one of your cards has a neat effect, then that's pretty nice, I guess. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Star Dragon World. Oh, are we getting into some... Nice. Sorry, I keep saying nice and okay. Like, those are like my 2 things that I cannot get away from. The flag cards are looking pretty cool. I didn't even think about them going back and actually making cool looking flags. Straight Blade Master wrecked. Dude, you just got wrecked. I like it. This card attacks. If you are not equipped with a Thunder Empire item, you take 1 damage. Size 1 for 3. That sounds worth it, guys. I don't know, actually. I'm actually kind of digging this. Strategy of the Military, 2-fold stance. You may only cast this card at the end of the battle if you have 5 or less life and an attack of yours is nullified. Stand a card on your field. Ha! Something to get around shields. I like it. Let's see. Stronger, low, 0-7, call cost, pay 1 gauge, and it's got double attack and soul guard. That's good. Wait a second though, how does it get soul? I guess you have to give it soul through other sources, but having soul guard's good. Sun Deity's Choice. Put 1 monster from your drop zone into your gauge. Counteract. If this card is in your drop zone during your final phase and there is no impact monster on your field, you may put 3 cards from the top of your deck into your drop zone. If you do, call up 1 impact monster from among them by paying its call cost. Holy cow. Alrighty, one second. This card is in your drop zone during your final phase and there's no impact monster on your field. You may put 3 cards from the top of your deck into the drop zone. If you do, call up to 1 impact monster from among them by... Okay, I get it. So, this pretty much gives you a chance at a final impact. If final impact happens to be like the top 3 cards of your deck. Nice. I like that. Superstar Dragon Gear Drake. Call cost, put a card from your drop zone into this card's soul, and pay 1 gauge. If there are 1 or more cards in this card's soul, items on your field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and they get critical +1. Okay. Tactician colon? Oh my gosh. That is an unfortunate name you have, sir. That is just not good at all. This card cannot be called to the center. All Thunder Empire on your field get critical +1. Okay, that's a good effect, but you just cannot be running around calling yourself colon. Especially because if your opponent has like a spear or something equipped, then they're running a spear straight through your colon, and that's just not good. Tier cap of Armed Chief. Oh, these are the JoJo hats that the other people are wearing. Nice. Equip cost. Pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. This card can attack even if there is a monster in your center. Wait, what? Oh, I get it. So this is an item that can attack even if you have a monster in your center. Cool. Act. Put 2 cards from the top of your deck into the drop zone. If you do, for this turn, this card gets power +3000. Then if all of those cards are Dragon Chief Emperor for this turn, this card gets critical +1. Wow. This card sounds really cool. Like, the Ancient World stuff sounds really neat. It just doesn't sound like my sort of play style. I'm sort of more like sort of like sneaky, control the field and then beat them down kind of deck. Like, I really like aggressive decks. I don't really like defensive or stall decks too much. But I like decks that just give you a lot of dudes to play and you deal a lot of damage. That's my thing. Let's see, beating people with my Zwei deck. Where are you playing at, Roxas? Are you playing on Trade Cards Online or are you using another app? Tier cap of Battle Aura. Equip cost, pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. Even if you already have a monster in your center. Gotcha. During your turn, when a card is put into your drop zone from your deck, deal 1 damage to your opponent. This ability can only activate Wait a second. This ability only activates once per turn. Oh, it's a good thing they put that only activates once per turn. Because, why are there hats, dude? I don't know. Why are there shoes? Why were there shoes earlier? Okay, why can I play with Adidas, but not have a backwards cap? That wouldn't make any sense, obviously. Yeah, it's a good thing they put that this ability only activates once per turn thing there, because I was just thinking of some really, really lolsy things you could do with this if it didn't have the once per thing. I'm using Buddyfight area, a download Buddyfight simulator. It's a lot like Card Fight area, but for Buddyfight. Alrighty, makes sense. Terminus Dragon Emperor Endervelt. If your flag is Dragon's Way, this card gets double attack. If your flag is Dragon Dre, this card gets move. When this card is destroyed, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. Okay. I mean, honestly, this doesn't sound that impressive. Size 3 for 2 critical. It can potentially have either double attack or move, but I'd honestly just rather have just both of those. I think then it would be worth a secret rare, but I don't think I would use this card personally. Thunder Dragon Shield. Didn't we look at this already? Yeah, we did. Is this... Oh, yeah, this is just a secret rare version. This looks new, though. The equip cost, pay 1 gauge and pay 1 life. If this card attacks, choose and use one of the following abilities. You either gain 1 life, or you can choose a size 1 or less monster on your opponent's side of the field, and pay 1 life, and then destroy it. That sounds really good. I really like that. I really like that. That's good. Especially with all the size 0s running around and stuff. You can use this to control your opponent's size 0s, and if they don't have any size 0s, you can just get 1 life. That's nice. Thunder Knights, Vice Captain Gordion Halberd. Call cost, pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. When this... Wait a second. When this card moves to the center, destroy a monster in your opponent's field. And it has a move, obviously. That sounds good. Wait a second. 6,000, 6,000, 2 critical for a size 2? Yeah, this card sounds really good. Yeah, I would like to use this card. That sounds awesome. Thunderlance X Tempest Burster. You may only cast this card if your opponent has 5 life or less. Your cards attacked 3 or more times during your turn, and neither you nor your opponent has a monster in the center. Pay 3 gauge, deal 5 damage to the opponent, cannot be nullified. So it's Gargantua Punisher. It is literally Gargantua Punisher, but a little teeny tiny bit stronger. Okay. I get it. Thunder Wave X Heavy Explosion. So is the new thing just that like Gao has all these cards with X in the name, and that's why it's Buddyfight X? Is that really what we're doing right now? Thunder Wave X Heavy Explosion. You may only cast this card if your cards have attacked 2 or more times during this turn and you have a Thunder Empire item equipped. Pay 4 gauge, deal 4 damage to your opponent. Fair. Sounds good. Try Light of Black Sword. When this card attacks, you may choose a monster on your opponent's field and pay 1 gauge. If you do, destroy the chosen card, and this has a double attack. What's with all these just like straight up destroy a monster card? Like that sounds like the game is moving a little bit faster than it used to. Weird. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge and you gain 1 life when this card is... Wait a second. When this card is put from the face down soul of an Oni Assassin on your field in the drop zone, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your gauge. Oh, baby. That sounds nice. White Crystal Dragon, Columbard. I almost said something else. Let's not worry about that right now, though. When this card enters the field, if you have 7 or more life, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Lols. White Crystal Dragon Ferments. Counteract. During an attack on your opponent's turn, pay 1 gauge. If you do, call this card from your call this card from your hand and change the target of the attack to this card. That's good. I really like that. Man, these prism things, so beefy. Oh, White Crystal Dragon Raisling? I'm gonna say Raisling. When this card enters the field, if you have a size 3 Prism Dragon in your center, draw a card. Memes, dude. Effing memes. White Fiend. Oh, God. Torakuma Doji. Call cost, put a card from, wait a second. Put a card from your hand in this card's soul face down, and it has a move. Memes, dude. Memes. Katana World, so you can ambush with it. Counteract. You may choose a size 3 monster on your field. Discard this card from hand. Pay 1 gauge. If you do, stand the chosen card. Okay. Yeah, see, I kind of got the alcohol thing because Detective Conan does the same thing with its bad guys. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Oh god, and now it's just awkwardly, there we go. Wise Deity Dragon Lord Philosophia. Oh, Philosophia. I see what you did there. I get it. Counteract. You may choose a size 3 monster on your field. Discard this card from your hand and pay 1 gauge. If you do, stand the chosen card. Okay, I guess. Last card, really. Youth Armor Otakonaki. I get it, because taco, it's like an octopus thing, right? Yeah? Alright. Equip cost. Pay 1 gauge. When an opponent's card attacks, if there is a size 3 Raging Spirit on your field, draw a card. This ability activates once per turn. Okay. So, I think we're pretty much done looking at stuff. But, go ahead and stay online for like 5 more minutes. Give some of my thoughts. So, as a Season 1 player looking at the new season, it seems like there's a lot more emphasis on things that destroy the field, on link attacking, and according to Roxas, on decks revolving around attributes. I remember that attributes used to be a thing, but I guess something's changed. It really, I don't know. Honestly, the game doesn't seem like it's power crept too much in terms of actual like power and stats. It just seems like now it's a lot easier to destroy cards on the field, and it's more about like it's more about playing with like a brand new field every single turn, because it seems like if you're not actively destroying your opponent's entire field, then it's like you're at a disadvantage, because you have to like play 2 to 3 cards. It seems like it's a lot easier to have a full field of 3 cards now, either 1 on each side and 1 in your as an item, or just 3 on your side of the field. And it seems like it's a lot easier to just have that field every turn. And the idea of the game now is to make your opponent run out of all cards on their field and then deal as much damage as possible. So that's, that's something. While I'm going over this, guys, feel free to ask me any questions, comments, concerns. I think there's only there's only 6 of you, but if there's anything you'd like to ask me, even if it's not really related to Buddyfight, feel free to ask. Links are really just 2 decks in total. Okay. But still, like, Link didn't really used to be a thing in the past, but now it is, and I'm okay with that. That's nice. I think the real question, though, is where are all of the buddies? Like, I remember Medusa was like instant buddy, but not seeing anything here. Let's go ahead and switch this over to Katana World and just look at some Katana World cards. Wait a second. Katana and Darkness Dragon World? What? Wait a second. What? Are they in this set? Did I miss them? Yeah, piece of... Okay. I get it. Okay, I'm done looking at it now. Let's just look at Katana World stuff. Item blasting. Blade Beast of 16-year-old. You're kind of adorable, but I don't know. I feel like I could do better. I feel like I could do a lot better. Let's see. Where are all my cute girls at? Like you, this would be a pretty sweet buddy to have. It's just, it's got an ambush effect. You don't want a card with ambush as your buddy. In fact, if anything, you would probably want a card that can put cards in its soul as your buddy. Let's see. You're kind of adorable, but that eye thing, bro. that eye thing, I cannot get over how weird that looks. It's so weird. Guess I just have to be really basic and run this freaking card as my buddy. I'm certainly not going to have Orochimaru as my buddy. And wait a second, let's take another look at you. Are you a good card though? When this card enters the field, you may put one card with an ambush that is not Red Lady. Only drop zone in your hand. No, because it hasn't. Ah, gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. You're kind of cool looking, I guess. I don't know. I miss the old Danger World days, guys. I wonder what Danger World's been up to. I'll have to look into it later. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's really got any questions or anything. And I think I'm pretty much done looking at the set. If you watched, then I hope you enjoyed. I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Thank you very much, Roxas of Malice, for all of your input. Thank you also to... Let's take a look at some of these names here. Jeez. You guys really talked a lot. Thank you, Eric, for being like the very first person who came in. Watched me fiddle with my settings and stuff. And looks like Dalton too. Thank you so much for your guys' participation. I'm going to go ahead and close it up here now. If you're watching this as a YouTube video and you enjoyed, please leave it a like. Those things really do help us out. If you have any thoughts on the video, or maybe if you have any thoughts on me live streaming and have an idea of what you'd like to see me live stream next, leave it in the comment section below. And finally, if you found this video by accident, then subscribe to stay up to date on the latest Kudo news. Catch you later. I said catch you later, but now you get to watch me awkwardly try to figure out how to turn my live stream off. Ah, found it.